After that, if you actually get them to go to the door, that's an amazing thing. Well, why do you want to go to the door? 2 reasons. You have less competition, and most of the real estate agents tried to take the phone numbers out anyway. So you don't get a lot of phone numbers, so you might as well go to the door. And when you're at the door, then you get to meet people, and if you door knock 10 around it, half of our business, maybe 3/4 of the business that our company gets is directly or indirectly tied to our actual door knocking around the previewing and the expireds. This stuff works, ladies and gentlemen. We go to lunch. We go to lunch from 12 to 1. We go back to the previewing, the expireds, and the doors. We prepare for our afternoon appointment from 4 to 5. We go on our appointment from 5 to 6 or 5 to 6:30, and we're on our way home or home by 7 o'clock. That's Wednesday. On Thursday is a scripts day, pardon me. It's a door knocking day for us. So you're going to role play from 8:30 to 9 in the morning. However, what I'm suggesting for those of you that are out door knocking, go to where you're going to door knock, whatever area that is, and then get on your cell phone with your role play partner and do a role play from your car, from your cell phone, when you're out front of where you're going to door knock. That way you don't have to come here, do a role play, then get in your car and drive somewhere else. It'll take too much time. Much more efficient doing it this way. Then we do our door blitz from 9 o'clock to basically 12:30. Go to lunch from 12:30 to 1:15. We have an advanced script class here in the office from 1:30 to 2:30. You do some phone follow-up calls. You have your pre-appointment time. Then you have your appointment time from 5 to 6:30. We've done 4 days. We've gone on 3 appointments, ladies and gentlemen. Now let me ask you a question. If you went on 4 appointments a week for 40 weeks, would you probably make some money? Yes. Even if you weren't the greatest pre-qualifier in the world, even if you weren't the greatest presenter in the world, you would have gone on 4 appointments for 40 weeks is 160 appointments. Even if you screwed up 90% of them, that's still me. Then you can't. It's hard. But even if you got 16 of those, you did 16 of those appointments, and half of those were money, that's 8 deals, and that's $80,000. That's not a lot of money, but out of 160 appointments, and you screwed up 90% of them. It's a numbers game. Do you get this?
Yes.
So you could be really bad and still make $80,000 to $100,000 a year. Wow. Okay. So Thursday. Sorry? So now we're on Friday. Role play from 8:30 to what time? 9 o'clock. Okay. We do our phone blitz here in Walnut till about 12:30. We go to lunch. The afternoon is for previewing expireds and doors. 5 o'clock, go home to your family. If you want, go home to your family at 4 o'clock. I'm fine. If you follow this, you want to take a little bit more time for family, I'm totally fine. Here's what happens. Most of us are with family thinking we should be at work. Or we're at work thinking we should be at the family. Stop doing that to yourself. Do your job when you're here, get it done, and go home. And then when you're home, be with your family. And when you're here, be here. Stop worrying. It's like an early grave thing. All right? Don't do it. All right. So be with your family at 5 o'clock. Saturday. Now, you can set this up any way you want. I prefer having Friday night off, coming in for a few hours on Saturday, and then having Saturday late afternoon off, and Sunday, I wrote it here, for every other Sunday off. Okay? Some of you are going to take every Sunday off, and that's fine. It's your schedule, not mine. All right? But you need to set up whatever it is you're going to do and then follow it. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Is this something you guys think you might be able to do?
Yes.
All right, questions? questions? Go ahead.
Did I hear you right when you said that half of the business that comes here is through door knocking?
Indirectly and directly. Yeah. Half of the business is coming to us right now because of the door work we're doing, as opposed to phone work. Yeah, absolutely. Good, great question. Go ahead, anyone else?
You start working on getting the appointments, and there's already time from your schedule for appointments. You have appointments. You say go into what? To replace it?
Good question. So the question is, we box in a time for an appointment. We say that we have appointment time at this particular time. However, either the appointment we made cancels, or we didn't get to make an appointment. It just didn't work out for us. What should I do at the time? Anytime you have an appointment time, the default is prospecting. Okay? The default is prospecting. No appointment, get on the phones, calls past client and sphere. No, if you can, if it's like right now, it's light till 8:30 at night, you know, my gosh, go preview some more houses. Go door knock around the previews. You're going to find business, okay? You're going to find business. Go ahead, great question. Who's next? Go ahead.
So open houses, at the event, there was just no open houses, it's limited productivity, and then I'm having trouble with which one is the right way to go.
Okay, great. So the question is, what do I do with open houses? All right, Mike is going to tell you, if you're doing all of this at a high level, doing an open house isn't the highest and best use of your time. Okay? However, none of you are going to do this.
No.
Okay? Yes, it's true. No. It's true. So what I suggest is that there is value, especially if you get a bank-owned open house with a bunch of those funky bank-owned signs that we have, and where you have 30, 40 signs pointing to a particular open house, you can pick up 8, 10, 15 leads from doing something like that on a Sunday afternoon. I am going to tell you, if you work this system, where you preview 1,200 houses a year, and you go see 1,200 expireds a year, and you door knock 24,000 doors a year, and you contact 7,200 people, you are going to make a bloody fortune, and you're not going to have to hold one house open. But most of you are not going to do that. So let's talk about open houses. Does that help, Chris? Okay. If you do what you're doing, you don't have to hold an open house. But you can't stop it. Get it? Okay. Great question. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? Everybody got it? Go ahead.
Should we keep track of our daily activities?
Oh, great question. The question that is asked is, should we keep track of our daily activities? The answer is a resounding absolutely, okay? Absolutely need to be keeping track of your activities. Now, in the beginning, you will not know why. It will not make sense to you, and it'll actually feel counterproductive. Geez, I've made 500 contacts. I got a record right here. I'm looking at it. My coach is making me look at it. And I haven't taken a listing or made a sale because of it. Okay? At least from those activities at this point. I got a few leads. I got something cooking. But I didn't get any business from it. Well, what we find is, over time, 3 months, 4 months, we keep tracking it, we can start finding patterns. And we start finding things out about you, where your business is coming from, what's going on. And so some of the conversations I have with some of the people I'm working with today, I had exact conversation yesterday with one of our agents. So this particular agent is a good agent, but he's only hitting 25 contacts a day right now. All right? Still a good agent. Probably going to earn just under $300,000 this year, but he's doing 25 contacts a day. So we found out that he does, I don't remember the exact numbers, but don't hold me to this, but let's say 150 contacts equals a closed deal. Okay? So I did some math for him, and I said, if you kick it up 10 contacts a day for the balance of the year, 10 a day, we have 100 and some odd days left in the year. I think it was 108 as of yesterday. Work days, the way he was figuring it. He would end up, you multiply that together, he was going to close 8 more transactions. Over and above what he normally closed. 8 more transactions to him was $80,000. So my question is, can you do 10 more, and is it worth the $80,000 for the extra effort? That's what I get to know when I've got the numbers. But if you don't keep track of the numbers, I can't have these conversations. All right? That make sense?
Yes.
Go ahead. We got a last one.
Last question is, I noticed on the schedule.
Is it a good one?
I'm definitely going to. The traveling time is not considered in here, and yet for some of us it is part of it. We didn't put this in the schedule.
That's a great question. So how do I deal with travel time? I think if you have an hour of prep time and an hour and a half for the appointment, that's 2.5 hours for you to do some prep work, get to the property, do your presentation, and get the heck out of there, all right? It's not enough if you're going from El Monte to Fontana. So what I'm going to tell you is stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop doing that to yourselves. Not only does it screw up your schedules, you're passing by hundreds of opportunities. You're working Fontana, and I don't know where this comes from. I truly don't. Okay? I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there's actually houses right behind us that some, I don't know, did you know that? No, they're right there. You look outside, and they're right there. And yet, most people in this company never knock those doors. I challenge you. Go knock those doors, and the track behind it, and the track behind it, and then the track to the left, and the track to the right. When you're done with all of that, go that way. Do that track, and those tracks. And then when you're done with all of that, pick a few this way, this way, this way, and this way. And then when that's all gone, maybe go to Fontana.
You're down on the way to Palm Springs, you give us a
So you gotta give, exactly. Do you get where I'm going here? You see, we're working Lakewood to Rancho Cucamonga. You can't. You're right. You can't do that. And to preview, you have to keep your previews tight, or you're going to end up making yourself nuts. It's a great question. So, tighten it up. Tighten it up. Okay? Everybody with me?
Yes. But even the schedule just to and from the office, though. Forgive us.
Well, but remember, see, okay, this is a great question because you live a little bit further away. You don't need to come here every day. Okay? This is a great, listen to me, all right, you guys and gals, we think we need this local office, okay? We have a whole different thought process on this. We think you need a hub that once or twice a week, once for sure, that's what this is all about here. That's what this day is dedicated to. That once a week, you come together, you get the camaraderie, the energy, look, you're here at 8:30 in the morning, you work till 7 o'clock at night, you get lunch, and you get 2 training classes. Come on, that's a fabulous day's work. And you're calling people, 7 hours of net calling time.
8.
It's 8? Does it work out to 8? It's even better. Okay, net calling time. Tomorrow, I think you should be in your neighborhood previewing property and previewing expireds and door knocking in your neighborhood. You don't need to come here. You don't need to come here. Okay? You need to work your neighborhood. You guys could come here on a Tuesday and work your neighborhood the rest of the week. Get it?
Yes.
That's where we're missing. We think we need to start and stop at an office. That's old real estate. It's old real estate. We need to be connected to an environment like this, so you get the energy, you get the camaraderie, you get the training, you get the information, and then you work your neighborhood. I get that. You need to work your neighborhood. You have a meeting? Head on over to Starbucks. You know, I got to tell you something. I have yet to do a meeting with even the richest of people that think going to a Starbucks or a coffee house or a Denny's or a Aura is a problem. You know where the problem is with that? It's in our brain. We think we need to bring him to the office. We don't. It's our problem, not theirs. They're quite happy. First of all, where do you usually have your listing appointments at? At their house, right? Say yes. Yes. Buyers will be more than glad to meet you at the first house, or they'll meet you at Starbucks, which is on every corner, okay? And then move from there to the next place. It's us. We're causing this problem. Stop doing that to yourselves. All right? As a company, we're recognizing that and working on it. I was asked for years, you know, Jeannie, I wish you had an office in our neighborhood, in our neighborhood, in our neighborhood. We'd come to work for you. You know, look, building something like this and underwriting it and managing it, it's impossible. You can't do that. So we came up with this formula, and I have to tell you something. This is working. There's some really great things going on, and we're getting better at it with the technology. Soon, this meeting will be webcast. So you could be on your iPad in Starbucks in Long Beach watching this meeting on an iPad, all right? Now, you don't get the energy feeling. You need to come into the office once or twice a week. That's why we have Tuesday and Friday for that. Okay? And that's easy to do, but it's in our head. Get it, clear it out, go forward with it, all right? Look, we need to go into our scripts class, so thank you all very much. I hope that was helpful a little bit. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh.